Talk Nutrition, great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. Wanted you to hear that theme music? That's good, right? Upbeat, modern, dialed in, and so are we. I think, I hope, and so much fun to be here with you. I'm grateful that you could tune in. If you're new to the show and you stumbled upon it, like we had a listener the other day, I remember that, Stephen? And she was just fumbling. I just casually asked her, I said, you listen to the show often? She said, no, this is the first time. And I was just messing with the dial and came across your show. And she said, I really like it. I said, well, great. So if that happened to you, don't change the dial.
Yeah, that was Lorraine, I think, from, was it Akron, Alabama?
Akron, Alabama.
Yep.
Very good, Stephen. That's why he's been around for 12 years, man.
Mm-hmm. So she won the $25 gift card that we give away at the end of the second hour of each show. So.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So it's all good. And Gary's here. You'll see him adjusting a camera because I got this big boom in my face. Where do you want that mic? On this side? Okay. There you go. It's still in my face. And he'll figure it out. We've moved things around in the studio. They're updating it, getting ready for Bucks football. And he'll work on that during the break. So it's all good. Now, you hear me talk about diet and lifestyle on this show, probably to the point of your annoyance. You want to maybe hit me with the Sunday edition of the New York Times. But I focus on diet and lifestyle because I know that's a place where you can do something about your life and your health. And that's where the action is. And you hear me say that, and I said this yesterday when I was getting chemo, and I had like a half a dozen nurses talking to me. And I said to them at one point, they were all gathered together. And I said, diet is the leading cause of disease, chronic disease in the United States. And they looked at me, and then I explained why. And I gave them examples, just like I do on the show. And they were taking notes. Nurses are interesting. I find them to be open-minded. They really want to know. This was at Florida Cancer Specialist, by the way. And I told them diet is the leading cause of chronic disease. And then they start asking me about weight. Oh, that always comes up. Dr. Garko, how can I lose weight and keep it off? I've tried everything. Every diet, I've done it. And I said, I know, it's frustrating, isn't it? I said, you need to listen to the show, and I'll talk about the principles, nutritional principles, lifestyle principles that you can practice for the rest of your life. And he said, well, what about exercise? I exercise a lot, and I still don't lose the weight. I said, that's interesting. Did you make any adjustments in your diet? No, I signed up for the gym. I said, so you didn't make any changes in your diet? And I said, it turns out that diet is the best predictor for weight loss. Exercise and moving, keep moving variable, is not as good a predictor by itself. When you combine it with diet, those two in combination are among the better predictors when you build regression models, statistical models, and try to figure out which variables account for most of the variance of the dependent variable, in this case, weight loss. Diet and lifestyle combined account for a large portion of that variance for weight loss. Now, when I first started the show, I used to talk a lot about exercising, moving, keep moving, exercise. And then over the year, I've drifted back and forth on it. And so I've been thinking about it. It's been on my mind. And you'll see I run in these thematic spurts. Now, I'll start doing a lot of stories and studies on movement and exercise and how to do it and whatnot. Today, I have two guests in the studio that it can give you an interesting, useful, beneficial, meaningful, philosophical way of keeping your body moving. And at the same time, make other wonderful improvements in your wellness and your well-being. I'll explain. My guests today are Helen Russo and Mark Russo. I've known Mark for 30 years. There they are. Smile for the camera. There you go. And I was talking with him the other day, and I said, I'd like to get you on. I've only known him for 30 years, and I told Gary, I said, I've been vetting them for 30 years. I just wanted to make sure that I don't know why I haven't gotten them on sooner. I don't know what's the matter with my head. But I have to tell you that Mark and Helen have both been very kind and generous to me throughout the years, but especially over these past 9 months in this battle that I have with cancer. And they've been very kind. And I said, what's the matter with you? One day I thought, you need to reciprocate. Come on, I can do better. I can help him. I can get him on the show. You need to know who he is. Everybody else in the world does. So they're going to be on the show today. You're going to see he and Helen have an interesting and wonderful way to, if you're bored with walking on that treadmill, if you're bored walking through the neighborhood, you don't like lifting weights and working on machines and this and that, maybe we have a solution for you. And who knows, you're going to learn something else about the kind of martial arts that he and Helen practice. It's not that baloney you see on TV where these people are pulverizing one another into oblivion. But they don't do that. I can't even watch that stuff. I don't like it. I never liked it. I'll never will like it. I don't want to like it. It's brutal. They don't do that. So we're going to have them on the show today. You'll see. They're wonderful people.
Andy's got a book out.
And he has a book, and we'll get there. Clearing away the crap in my cap. Well, I got a cap on. Let's see what goes on with that. And we'll talk about that. And we are going to always invite you to dial into the show. Gary can tell you how to do it.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. Don't forget to reach out at Dr. Garko at letstalknutrition.com. That is his personal email, so he does answer it. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at LTN Radio, Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition, and Facebook. One word, Let's Talk Nutrition. And we're on iTunes now. We have our own podcast on iTunes.
Gary's going to list for you the 4 ways in which you can get on-demand viewing of the show or listening. There's 4 ways to do this. Share, please, Gary.
You can watch us live on the Let's Talk Nutrition Facebook page. We post there. You can watch us live streaming on our YouTube page on Let's Talk Nutrition. You can also follow us on LTN.com. We're live streaming there. And on iTunes at Let's Talk Nutrition, you can get a hold of us. And WHNZ's homepage also. That's our home station.
So there are 5. So the LTN.com, is that a podcast?
Yes. The LTN.com, that's a Let's Talk Nutrition.com. The podcasts are on there. Also, our archived videos are on there also.
Okay. The audio portion, if you want to download MP3s of the show, go to show schedule. We're going to change that. I hate that. That show schedule. How about previously aired shows or something like that? Now, you go there, and you'll see the guest, title, hour 1, hour 2. Click on the hot button, hour 1 or hour 2, and they can download those, right, Gary?
Yes, they can download them, and it's free to download. It's not, and you can listen to it on your Android device or your Apple device. And most podcasts they charge. We don't.
We'll be right back.
Are you waking up each day to the life you...
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing, and that's none of my business, I won't ask. I don't care what you're doing, just so you're listening. You may be in the garage, you may be, who knows, driving or some other place and doing whatever, I don't care. Just so you're listening or watching at letstalknutrition.com. Now, 68% of the population in the United States overweight or obese. That problem is not indigenous to our country. A new study coming out of Frontiers talks about how people across the world, especially in developed countries, are in a lot of trouble, just like us, and some even worse. Researchers reported earlier this year in Frontiers that of public health that up to 76% of the world's population, they use the term, I'll quote them, may be over fat. I don't like that term. That's not nice. I don't like calling people fat. Only my producer. I love him, though. He knows I love him, so I don't call you fat, do I?
No.
I've never said you're fat.
No, and you don't fat shame me like a lot of people do.
No, don't do that.
But I have lost 4 pounds.
Good. Good. I made something. I forgot to bring it. Nevertheless, these same researchers that did that work now have focused their efforts on data from 30 top developed countries. These are developed countries, and they should be doing okay. Their findings are somewhat alarming in that up to 90% of adult males, 90% of adult males and 50% of children, and I'm quoting them, may be over fat, close quote. Now, what's interesting, yesterday when I was talking to the nurses in the chemo room and I said diet is the leading cause of chronic disease in the world, I said when you build the model, they leave off diet and they start with the disease, and then they start to go down the path that way. No, you start with diet and lifestyle, really, which most of these chronic diseases are caused by diet and lifestyle. When you build the causal model, that's where you start. And overweight and obesity, it starts with diet and lifestyle. Now, what's interesting, you start to look at different diseases: stroke, arthritis, heart disease, polycystic ovaries, pulmonary diseases, cancer, gout, type 2 diabetes, gallbladder cancer, non-alcoholic fatty liver. What happens is those get compartmentalized. And what they're suggesting in the article, in the study, and I agree with them, you have to connect them to diet and lifestyle because that's their genesis. Now, genetics is involved, but most of the variance is caused by diet and lifestyle. You can track this if you go online, and you also find it on our Facebook page, the study, Overfat Adults and Children in Developed Countries, the Public Health Importance of Identifying Excess Body Fat. What was interesting in this study, excuse me, by the way, that's Frontiers in Public Health. That's the full title of the journal. And it is a global pandemic. The problem is pervasive in English-speaking countries, as a matter of fact. U.S., New Zealand, Iceland, and Greece, where it's supposed to be because they eat olive oil. I don't know what they're talking about. They're supposed to be the healthiest people on the planet. Not so much. They got issues there, too. 30 of the top developed countries account for 76% of the world's obesity problem. That's stunning. Why? Because what happened was processed foods. The standard American processed diet got imported. Any place that diet has been imported, and I can show you, come by sometime and I'll actually show you the studies. Without exception, if you can find the exception, you're welcome to come on the show. We'll put you on live.
Doc, Dolly Madison might have saved the pictures in the White House. She ain't saving our health right now.
Not. Where was that place? Nepal? Someplace in the Himalaya mountains. Somewhere. They imported the diet there. This is not a place where the media are hanging out. This is a pretty isolated. Guess what? They imported the diet there. I'll find it. And these people got an obesity problem. Without exception. That is the culprit. That is the suspect that's in the lineup.
I got a Facebook question. We got a chance.
Go ahead.
Elizabeth asked, what is rich foods?
Rich?
Rich. What does that mean?
Salt, sugar, and fat, loaded with lots of fat and rich meaning salt. It's fat and sugar. You put all three together, usually in rich foods, you'll find those three ingredients in excess. And rich foods are typically processed foods. You'll never consider starchy vegetables, legumes, seeds, nuts, fruit. Those are not rich foods. The rich foods they provide abundance, but in place where you would rather not have that abundance. Right? Rich foods. At one time, that expression, only the nobility they were rich and they ate the better foods and they end up getting gout. So when you see the rich foods, walk away. We'll come back. We're going to, we got a call from a health food store. We'll take that call and we'll introduce Helen and Mark Russo. They'll be with us for the rest of the show. LTN, Coast to Coast.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace for healthy sleep naturally.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Now, I mentioned diet and lifestyle as the best way to lose weight. Today, we're going to focus on one lifestyle variable, one and one only for now, and that's going to be exercise, moving. Keep your body moving. And I've been always trying to find interesting ways that can motivate people to want to do it. One of the complaints I've gotten over the years, I've been working out for 40, 50 years, literally. And I work out 5 days a week. Now, since I had cancer, that schedule, I just said to one of my friends who was with me in chemo yesterday, I said, she was asking about that. I said, well, cancer gets in the way of things, you know what I'm saying? It does disrupt your schedule. I haven't been able to train 5 days a week. Now, I've been doing that my whole life. I don't expect everybody to do that. They're not going to do that. But we have something I think will intrigue you. And even if you don't want to do it, you can learn something from what Helen and Mark Russo want to share today. They're wonderful people, and they're among the best of the best in what they do in martial arts. So I want to welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition for the first. I've known him for 30 years. Mark has been a good friend. And Mark Russo and his wife, Helen. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here, Mike.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that I've known Mike for a while, and watching the way you're handling this challenge in your life, incredibly inspirational.
Well, thank you.
I can't say that I would do as well as I've seen you do.
Oh, you would. It's funny, when nobody knows how they're going to do when they're confronted with some challenge in life. You never know. There's no manual.
Right,
doesn't teach you, right? Maybe in martial arts they can try to prepare you, and I believe in that concept, and I think what you do could prepare people for these challenges. And nobody really knows until you don't know if you can hit the ball, that fastball or that curve until you step into the batter's box.
Right.
So you do your best, and there's not to say that I haven't been fearful. But that being fearful is not being a coward. They're different.
Mm-hmm.
And I suspect that most people will step up to the challenge. But thank you for your compliment. I am grateful to you, and I love you for your kindness that you've always shown me. Thank you. Now, I remember 30 years ago when I first saw you, we both were a little younger.
A little bit.
And I remember seeing you, and I was always impressed. I said, boy, that fellow's in good shape. And then, I don't know if you remember, I introduced myself to you, and we started talking this and that. We used to go to a chicken place,
right? Yeah.
We'd get our lunch, and I would be with my students or something, and he'd come walking in, and I would say, I said, that guy over there, I said, he's bad news, man. Don't mess with that guy. How many black belts do you have?
I have teaching licenses in 6 different disciplines.
Okay. And you've had a long journey moving through from Taekwondo and all kinds of stuff. Go ahead, explain.
Yeah. Yeah, I started when I was 8, got inspired by a James Bond movie, which was, as a sidebar, my teacher of the current art that I study had the same experience. There have been a lot of synchronicities that brought our lives together.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to sneak out from my bedroom at night and I'd get under the couch, and my parents didn't know I was there, and I'd watch TV. And there was a James Bond movie on, You Only Live Twice, and they had these ninjas in the final fight scene, and it was like the coolest thing I had ever seen. And that inspired me. The very next day, I started looking up karate, because back then, I was 8, that's what you heard about was, karate and judo. And so I went to the phone book. I started looking up, where is there a place close to me? And I begged my mother, and my mother, rest her soul, was a very, very kind soul. And she just was not having the karate thing. So I was sort of dead in the water, and I don't give up easily.
So you figured out how to get to some studio somewhere.
Well, what happened was I found out that judo was referred to as the gentle way.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, we can do that.
We can do that. There you go. You can call and join in the conversation. Mark Russo is my guest, and his wife, Helen. Call us.
877-897-8255. That's 877 897-8255.
And then you're moving along. You come into adolescence. You're a teenager, and you.
Yeah, I'm kind of full of myself by the time I've got a couple of.
What were you practicing at those ages? Teenage
Yeah, I was
years.
practicing Taekwondo, Kempo Karate, and Okinawan Shorin-ryu Karate, which they're all pretty much hard styles, particularly Taekwondo. You got to be.
And you're gaining your credentials in these arts, and then you're in your 20s, and then where did you gravitate to?
Right. So I started to get bored. I was a tournament competitor and had kind of done that to death, and I was getting bored with the whole thing. And then at the time, a friend of mine was editor of Black Belt magazine, and I met with him right here on Clearwater Beach. And he said, "Well, what do you want to do? I can get you in touch with any of the top names." And right about then, this ninja boom had started to happen, which my teacher was solely responsible. Stephen K. Hayes, he was responsible for that. He's the man that brought the authentic ninja martial arts to this country. He studied under the 34th generation ninja grandmaster.
Wow.
So I said,
what country was that typically indigenous to?
Japan.
Japan. Okinawa in particular?
No.
Just Japan generally?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The Togakure prefecture is where this particular family was from.
So this is centuries old now. Thousands of years
absolutely. Old. Yeah, well, about 900 years.
Close.
Yeah.
All right.
So I said to my friend John, I said, well, this Stephen Hayes guy, is any of this ninja crap for real,
I'll remind you that 8 years old, you were intrigued. So now we're fast forward in your 20s, right. And now you're going back, the kid under the couch for ninja, right. And now you're exploring it.
That's right. And so anyway, long story short, he set up a meeting with myself and Stephen Hayes. And again, briefly, Reader's Digest version. We talked for a while, and then now mind you, I'm still mid-20s, still kind of very athletic, full of myself. And so Stephen Hayes says to me after we talked for a while, he says, "Well, I want you to try to punch me." And I'm thinking, hey, the guy said I'm going to punch him, So I threw a punch at this guy, and the sky went by, the trees went by, and next thing I know, my face is in the grass, and my arms are all twisted up behind me. I had no reference for what had just happened to me.
With all of those years of practice and training and certification.
Toyed with me like a mouse.
Like you had never done this before.
That's right.
So and that persuaded you.
It was the happiest day of my life. I lay there in pain thinking,
this is great.
This is what I've been looking for my entire life.
I've had relationships like that. Why am I so much in pain? And I'm glad. Never mind. Ninja, that connotes, it draws up all kinds of images. I think on a sort of the negative side, it's gotten so commercialized, I think it's lost its true meaning. I'll explore that with Mark and Helen Russo. This is a good way to get into shape.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Garco.
Keep moving through martial arts. That's a good idea, right? That's a good idea. And maybe you're saying, wait a minute, I'm too old for that. No, you're not. Not the martial arts we have in mind. And you don't have to pound anybody. You don't have to hit anybody. You don't have to. No, you'll see. And it's an evolved form. It's almost 1,000 years old. And then there's a modern version that Mark Russo has really popularized and makes a lot of sense. And we're chatting with him and his wife, Helen. I'm going to talk to Helen in 1 second. So just to put a button on where we were, you started out at 8 years old watching TV under the couch, and you saw this James Bond movie where there were ninjas in it. And then fast forward maybe 20 some odd years later, and now you're bored with all these other forms of martial art, and somebody introduces you to this art that finds its genesis in the concept of being a ninja. I think what has happened to that, unfortunately, this is my perception, I'm a layperson, but I have a sort of a, I don't think it's a sort of a tainted view of it.
No, there's no doubt. I mean, the media totally
distorted it, right?
Yeah, it distorted it. I mean, they painted the ninja as murderers and assassins.
Yeah. And this is a legitimate art.
Oh, yeah. And remember, now, the ninja basically evolved as a counterculture to the samurai ruling class. They kind of wanted to be left alone. They were communal. And the samurai government didn't like that. And so they were persecuted. And I always like to say this, if Hitler had won World War II, what would they be saying about Americans?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I get it. And so you moved into that form, and now what are your credentials, if that's the right word, in this art form now? What is the art form called?
It's called Toshindo.
Toshindo. And you have I
have an 8th degree, and Helen has a 6th degree. We are respectively the highest ranked male and female under Grandmaster Stephen K. Hayes in the entire world.
Good enough. Yeah. You can move to the front of the class. Helen, welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. You need to grab the mic from your husband.
Hi there.
Yeah, you pull it close. Get into it. There you go. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First of all, where did you meet this guy?
At a gym.
Imagine that.
Yes. Actually, I was married before, and I was pregnant with my first daughter.
I see.
And Mark had a training group in the back of that gym, and we'd just see each other as he walked through, and that was really,
how you met.
That was really about it.
How did he persuade you to get into this art form, martial art form?
That was about 8 years later. We bumped into each other at another gym, and I was going through a divorce at that time, and he said it would do you great. You'd enjoy it. It would be a great relief, stress relief to come in and do that. And so I thought, well.
How many years have you been practicing it now?
Now, 24.
24 years. And you're a 6th degree?
Yes.
Does that mean black belt? Do you all use belts and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the achievement. Hold your thought. Let's go to Vitamin Discount Center. There's a place in Tampa called Temple Terrace. Pretty cool place. Sophia, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on. Sorry I couldn't get you on quicker.
Good morning. How are you?
Right. Just don't do any, no judo chops, no taekwondo.
Well, your guests are impressive, I must say.
Yeah, no ninja moves on me, please. Be kind. What did you want to say?
First of all, I wanted to call and thank you for having the courage to let everybody know that everything starts with our nutrition and that you can uncover the secrets of preventing and even reversing chronic diseases with the right nutrition. It all stems from there, and we really need to educate people. And I don't know if you've ever mentioned a documentary that is now playing out there called What the Health?
Yeah, I'm going to, and I'm going to recommend it. I've been getting a lot of mail on it. I haven't had a chance to watch it in full. Mm-hmm. It is worth watching. It's an effective, persuasive. How many minutes is it?
It's 44 minutes, I believe.
The year I was born. Best 44 minutes you can spend.
Well, you know what? You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to the people you love to watch it.
Absolutely.
I watched it, and I actually had to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, there's another one I would recommend, Forks Over Knives.
Seen that, great.
That's a good primer into a whole food, plant-based diet paradigm. Mm-hmm. What the hell? What is it titled? I don't want to misrepresent it. What the health?
What the health?
Yeah. What the health? That is also is favors that paradigm. And you'll see Esselstyn on there. Dr. Esselstyn's featured on it. And all these power hitters in this paradigm that embraces a whole food, plant-based diet, no meat, no dairy, no oil.
Yep. Yeah. The filmmaker on that is Kip Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very, very impressed. So I'm letting my customers know.
You tell them to watch your show, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You listen to it. You play it in your store, don't you?
I sure do.
Yeah.
I listen to you every morning.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes, and yeah. I just wanted to call and thank you because it does
my
take
pleasure.
a lot of courage to say things that people might not want to hear.
Well, when I say diet is a leading cause of disease in the world, I even with the nurses yesterday, they looked at me a little funny.
I know.
And then once I explained it, they got it.
Yep, I know.
Well, thank you. How are you doing in your store?
Doing good.
How many years you been a manager?
I think we're going on 7 years now.
Yeah, and I know you do a lot of education in your store. There are a lot of good health stores in Tampa Bay. Vitamin Discount Center is among them. We embrace them all. We love them all.
Thank you.
Everybody's trying to make a living, and some stores are better than others. I like Vitamin Discount Center for a lot of different reasons.
Yay.
If you're on a fixed budget, you're in college or you're a little elderly and you're on a fixed income, they'll help you out.
Yep, we will. We've got something for everybody.
It's called Vitamin Discount Center. And they have all the leading brands. You won't go wrong. And there are a lot of great health stores throughout the United States that we get in touch with. We encourage you to call just like Sophia did. And we love you. Thank you for calling.
Love you too, Doctor. Thank you.
My pleasure. So, Helen, you've worked your way up to a sixth degree.
Mm-hmm.
In a word, what do you find so intriguing about this particular martial arts form?
It's just fascinating. It's a never-ending.
What did it do for you?
It gave me a lot of confidence in just day-to-day life, a lot of self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped no end.
Did it help you just physically, or did it touch your mind and your spirit?
All of that, yes. Yes, definitely.
Truly?
Yes.
You think you're a better person because of it?
Oh, definitely.
You think your life would be, there would be a void if you had not had this particular martial arts form in it?
I think so. It's a complete martial art. It's
good.
Very different.
And you can do this from 6 to 160 if you are an age, right? Everybody can get involved.
Anyone can do this.
You're
yes.
73 day out of chemo and you're doing it out in the hall, Doc.
Well, I promised him I'm going to come to his studio. I'm going to try. We'll see how I do. We're going to come back to second hour, and we're going to get into how it contributes to your health in terms of movement, exercise, how much time you might need to devote to it. Is it all that it's not violent. You'll see, it's not violent. You can embrace it from Mark. What Mark has been teaching me about it, it's very embraceable. It's like dancing with a beautiful person, man or woman, right? Depending on what your preference. It's elegant. We'll be back coast to coast. Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in today. Two wonderful guests, two wonderful people, Mark and Helen Russo, leading martial arts experts around the globally, and they practice an martial arts form that is just wonderful. And Mark is 8th degree in his particular this arena. He'll explain, and Helen, his wife, 6th degree. Now, I'm making the argument that people have a difficult time exercising. They get bored. They have good intentions, but as Mark said too, by the way, you can't, well, I'll save that quote, but this form of martial arts, you're saying, wait a minute, I don't want to practice more. I don't want to hurt anybody. No, you don't need to. As a matter of fact, this form of art, martial art, Mark and Helen will explain, is self-defense based. Wonderful way to protect yourself. It has a social network of all ages, from 6 to whatever. He has elderly people, he has thin people, overweight people, obese people.
Okay, so if I join, I'm 43 years old. You're not going to stick me in some 12-year-old kiddie class, are you? If I'm an adult.
No.
Talk to your mic.
Yeah, absolutely not. No. We are actually mostly adults. We do teach children. In fact, Helen does a wonderful job with what we call the Mighty Dragons.
Okay.
But
so can you do something with Gary? He's a big boy.
Oh yeah, we have one of my students who just achieved black belt. About a month ago, has lost now 130 pounds.
Got to sign this boy up. We're showing you, if you're watching, we're showing you some images of Mark with some of his students, instructing them, and they're performing and demonstrating. So I've seen him in street clothes. He does this. Now you're seeing him with some of the regalia, or whatever you want to call it, the traditional garb of this art form, but you don't necessarily have to do that, I guess, but just to show you. Intelligence, self-defense, fitness, meditation, and life improvement, and that's what they're all about. Helen, in terms of women, a lot of women don't like to go to gyms. They're co-ed gyms. A lot of women feel self-conscious. A lot of women that, you're a woman, you've been doing this for 24 years. Women in your class, what's it like for them there? What's the environment?
It's a really friendly, warm environment. Everybody who comes into the dojo loves it because we're non-judgmental. Anybody, we want to help everybody do well.
Mm-hmm.
And
where are you all located?
We're in Wesley Chapel on just off State Route 56.
Mm-hmm. Turns out that I just talked to you over the weekend, and you've been traveling around the U.S. doing workshops. So you're available that way, Mark?
I am, yeah. You could contact me through the website.
What is it?
It's TampaQuestCenter.com.
TampaQuestCenter.com. And you do workshops and lectures and whatnot.
That's correct, yeah. And there are a lot of martial artists that are like I used to be, Taekwondo and so forth. They may be getting a little older, don't want to compete anymore, wanting to focus more on self-defense.
And that's what this art's about.
That's all this is about. That's all we do, is realistic self-defense. So there's no sport aspect to it. So it's non-violent in that we train in order to choose peace from a position of power. Now, if I am given no choice, I need something that's very effective, because one of the biggest goals is I come home happy and healthy every day to the people who expect me to do that. Mm-hmm. So if you think about yourself, if all of a sudden you're not there tomorrow, how many lives would be affected?
That's why I end the show every day. I say your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you. And so is your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're right. This one student you had, he lost 130 pounds.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, he probably didn't show up here maybe just to lose weight. Maybe he did. He started off that way and he ended up in a different place. But the exercise involved here would be fabulous for people, wouldn't it?
Yes. We, in fact, every class starts with about a 10-minute functional fitness warm-up. Mm-hmm. And the movement of our art is all based on natural movement. What I mean by that, for example, is if I'm going to kick an opponent in the head or an attacker in the head, it's because I got their head down close to my knees where it makes sense to do that.
And it is about self-defense. And he was we put a post on our Facebook page, Gary, right?
Yeah, I put the post on the Facebook page. I also have it on their Facebook page also. So I've crossed.
He's showing me a move, one little movement. And what's it you say? Self-defense. Judo is close, maybe in a sense. I don't know. I know a little bit about judo, where you're trying to use the force of the other person, right? Or
well,
no?
Again, you have to be pretty athletic in judo. In fact, you find that older or aging judo players are having a lot of hip and lower back problems.
So we'll stay away from that.
Yeah, again, if you're young and you want to do that,
so you don't have to be somebody who is an athlete and 100% fitness or young. This is for the layperson.
Right. That's correct. Yeah.
That's why he's here today.
Yeah,
for all of us.
This is all natural movement. One of the things I was showing you is one of our principles is putting the attacker's skeleton or their bones in their way. So a lot of what we do is based on using the human musculoskeletal system against itself.
Good. This is good. And in this society, knowing a little self-defense wouldn't hurt. Ask my producer, who was a cop for 10 years. Right, Officer Gilkey?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you. I actually worked with the guy, Reeves, from the incident up in Wesley Chapel. And I'm just thinking to myself, that could have been handled a different way.
Yeah.
If he's your age, Doc. I just saw you do that out there with him.
Yeah.
And just.
So in your experience as a police officer, you have martial arts people come in.
Yes.
They train them to be aggressive, don't they?
Yes. You've met one of them. You met Chip.
He's great.
Yeah.
They're pretty, it's pretty violent oriented, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I worked Ybor for the first 2 years of my tenure as a police officer, and you could see my hands because I fought every weekend. You fought every weekend when I started
dealing with
working
drunks
Ybor.
and whatnot.
Yeah, because that's when it was closed. And Ybor City, if you're not familiar with Ybor City and the city of Tampa, Ybor City is like every weekend New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when people start, some people they blow up the lab when they start drinking alcohol. So, but your form, name it, please.
Toshindo.
Toshindo is not violent or violence oriented. It's
strictly self-protection. And so, you can apply what is appropriate for the situation. Mm-hmm. So when I think about when I did Taekwondo and some of my other martial arts as a youth, you had two gears, idle and turbo, right? I'm either doing nothing or I'm kicking somebody's head off. Okay?
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, this may be a situation where you're at a party with a friend and he's had a few too many and gets a little,
rambunctious.
And, could not intending to, could harm you. So how do I control this guy without harming him?
And you find that from a woman's point of view, Helen, that these movements are not hard to execute. You can do it.
Oh, yes, you can. Yeah.
Now, listen, the truth, I'm not going to ask you your age. I'm not going to be impolite.
She'll tell you.
How old are you?
I'm 60.
Oh, my mother of God. And I thought I looked good. She's amazing. Mark said to me the other day, he said, the woman's a freak. And he said, I just can't keep up. She's 60 years old. She looks like she's 40. She has the body of a 40-year-old woman, totally fit, no fat, got a 6-degree belt. And she's a mom just like you. I'm sorry.
Grandma.
Yeah, Grandma she would turn me into a pile of dust in 2 seconds. It's amazing. It's just amazing. I just always marvel at what terrific shape you're in and how poised you are and how soft-spoken both you and Mark are. But my mother always used to say, still waters run deep.
If you've ever had digestive issues slow you down, it's time to live digestively.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Exciting, non-boring, meaningful way to exercise and keep your body moving and improve not only your physical stature, but your mind and your spirit. Well, we have just the prescription. Mark and Helen Russo are here today. We're talking about martial arts of all things, but their particular brand of martial art. It's ancient, and Mark got there. It took him many years, but he got to this form that he practices and teaches now across the United States. He does consulting, too, across the U.S., and it's all based on self-defense. And it's for children, young adult, teenagers, young adults, middle-aged, elderly. Anybody can do it. And there's a social network that provides support. It's wonderful exercise. And you're accomplishing something. This is great. And we appreciate Mark coming. I've known him for 30 years. You'd think I would have had him on before. But, eventually the light goes on. And I get it. So we thank you for coming in today, spending some time with us. Thank you so much for doing it. Do people have to sell stock, buy a cheaper car, mortgage their house to come to your do you call it, what do you call it, dojo?
Dojo, yeah.
Do you have to do that, or is it reasonable?
No, we're actually less pricey than pretty much all the martial arts in our area. We want people to be able to get this.
Do you have families that come?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mother, father, children?
We have whole families in there. We have every combination you can imagine. Father and daughter, mother and son.
Right.
And when they go all the way and achieve a black belt together, that is a bond that they have for the rest of their lives. And I have students still writing me letters that, moved on from training 20 years ago. And I get letters out of the blue from these people.
And if you go to their website.
Yes, TampaQuestCenter.com.
TampaQuestCenter.com. You'll see videos there. Gary's going to, when he gets it up, he'll show you a video where Mark is demonstrating with a student how to use it. Like you get attacked. Somebody's had a few too many, or somebody has bad intentions trying to harm you, where you can use your pocketbook, your belt, your shoe, a pen, whatever's available to defend yourself. You don't need to be carrying a firearm, a Luger or a Glock or whatever, a Glock. You don't need to do that. And this is nonviolent, where you tried, as Mark said, quote, to achieve peace through a position of power. And if you're watching the show, Gary is showing you a sensible self. Oh, wow, look at, you took that dude right down, man. Whoa. Simple moves, but very effective. Now we're showing the video, and he's doing exercises with them, and they're like movements. I guess they're designed to reinforce the movements that you would. There's meditation that they practice, life skills. Mark demonstrating, talking to them about my life skills. And there he is giving a lecture. This is all good stuff. I think you would find it intriguing. I think it would benefit you. I told him that I'll come into the studio or to his dojo and I'll start, but I have to, get in a little better position once I get on the other side of the chemo. I did some movements out in the hall. Gary has it posted. He was showing me. I was in chemo yesterday, and I'm out there doing that with him today. So you can do it if I can do it. Give us a call if you'd like to ask some questions, learn more. You can give us a call at 877-897-8255. Gary's a little busy right now. 877-897-8255. And we do stream, and so we have this. We stream because people learn in different ways. Some people like to hear things. Some people like to see things. Some people like to touch things, whatever. So the streaming is part of educating. People like to see what's going on. They learn better that way.
Now, I got his Wednesday video. He'll have to narrate it for the radio crowd, but the streaming crowd will be able to hear it, so he's going to have to re-narrate it.
Sure, he'll narrate it. We're going to show it now. And this is Mark giving a class. Is that go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, this is we're using in this case. There's the attack. The attack is a kind of interview shove where a person wants to see how you're going to react to that.
The guy's going to use both hands and push toward your chest. He's going to try to push you.
Right. So this is a shove coming in. First thing I'm going to do is be connected and remove the target. Okay, so as I remove the target, I position my body so that as he continues to fight, he ends up taking himself down, which is, sometimes hard to see, but very different from, say, judo, where I'm just going to haul him over my back using strength.
Right. So you're using this is like physics.
It's all physics. It's all physics.
You're using his force against him.
That's right. It's all physics applied to the musculoskeletal system. So the difference is in judo, they throw you in order to take your balance. In our art, we take your balance first in order to throw you.
This is interesting. Do you have any film of Helen doing any of the training or movements?
I'm sure there's some out there. I think on YouTube there are probably some clips from
Helen. Mark's wife, Helen, is pretty remarkable. She's a 6th-degree black belt, and she's a mom. She's a grandmother, and she does this. She's been doing it for 24 years. Still does it. She's at her age. She said what it was, 60. You look at her, the woman looks 40. I kid you not. I'm not, I don't, no hyperbolic stuff around here. She does. She looks 40 years old, 42, maybe 45 at most. On a bad day, maybe didn't get enough sleep, but most of the time she's in her early 40s.
I got another Facebook question. This one comes in from Christina. She wonders, hi, curious, what's your opinion on Tai Chi movements?
We'll save that on the other side. Mark will give his professional answer, and then I'll tell you about his book. That rhymes. That's good.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloat.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilo Max, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, where you can get connected to this show in almost literally every conceivable electronic way that we can think of. And Gary will tell you about that in a second. And I just want you to know that we do this show. It airs live Monday through Friday, roughly 9:06, but 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, coast to coast. Check your local listings. In Tampa, we're on AM 1250 WHNZ, whatever the radio station in your neck of the woods. We're close to 60 affiliates across the U.S., coast to coast, literally. And let's go to Tampa now. I don't like to keep callers and listeners waiting. Del, welcome to the show. And you have a judo story.
Correct. When I got out of the Navy, I tried a bunch of different jobs to see what I might succeed at. One of them was I worked in a judo studio as a salesman. Remember one day a fella came in and he had to be at least 300 pounds. He was very wide. And I thought, oh, my goodness, this guy really needs a lot of work. And he talked to the owner, and the owner said, yeah, you can go out in there and work out. And he came out of the dressing room with his gi on, and he had a dark belt on. I'm pretty sure it was a black belt. But when he got out on that mat, he floated.
Yeah.
His movements were just so liquid, and you'd check his feet every once in a while to see if he was actually touching the mat.
Yeah.
And I thought, some poor idiot's going to think he's got a good mark here.
They're going to beat up the fat boy, right?
Exactly, and that poor guy's going to be in so much trouble.
Yeah. How you doing? How you doing, Del?
Hanging in there, like everybody else.
That a boy. We appreciate your calls. We don't take you for granted. We love you as a listener, and I'm so grateful. That
was an awakening period for me too.
Was it?
Yeah, sure. Because I made an assumption when he came in, and he was just magnificent.
Yeah. Things are usually not what they seem.
That happens every now and then.
Doesn't it, though? Thank you, Del. We love you, Del. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. We had a question about Tai Chi. I know you're not an expert.
No, I'm not an expert.
But what do you think of it generally?
Yeah, generally, I think it's great. So I know that there is a combat form of Tai Chi. It can be used as effective self-defense. For the most part, it is used as sort of a moving meditation kind of exercise.
When they show people in Asia in the morning, that's what they're practicing, of all ages.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Helen said, well, maybe when I get a lot older, that's what I'll do. I said, Helen, please. I mean, maybe 20 years from now, I don't know, 25. Yeah. But
when we, in our classes, we can accomplish the same thing. We have people doing some of the movements very, very slowly to perfect the subtleties of those movements. So in a way, it's very similar to Tai Chi in parts of the class.
Gotcha. There's a book that Mark wrote, and it's entitled Clearing Away the Crap in My Cap. We'll have to read it. And the book is in rhyme. Okay. And it doesn't look like the New York phone book. It's not very readable.
Yeah, it's a very easy read. It's designed to make you laugh.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But hidden in there are a lot of very poignant life lessons.
I noticed that the customer reviews on Amazon are pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. But this is what attracted me to this art beyond just the physical skills. So, very effective martial art. I found none more effective. However, the mind science part of this and the life skills, what really attracted me. This delivered in spades beyond anything I imagined. So, for example, one of the main doctrines, which can be traced back to it's called Mikyo, which can be traced back to Japanese Buddhism. It's called Sanmitsu. Sanmitsu means the triple secret or the three secrets. And this is a universal law. You can't argue with it. Our thoughts, our speech, and our actions create the reality that we live in. So in one respect, we all live in the same reality, but we all see the world very differently, and we all respond and interact with the world very differently. And that is governed by these 3 building blocks of our own individual reality.
3 principles of thought, speech, and action. Given my PhDs in communication, I'm intrigued. Speech, how about it? And one of the principles in communication often it's not what you say, it's the way you say it to people. And that particular dimension of the message is nonverbal, everything that's not verbal. That's not to say that you can't say the words can be very harsh and can have an effect. But it's interesting in human beings that the way we talk to one another is primarily responsible for the formation of our relationship with others. The way we speak, our communicator style, our speech. And that's remarkable principle too. And so I like that. Thought, speech, and action serve as a driving force for...
This is the way we build our reality.
For what we become and how we are situated in the world. And
how our lives evolve. And so the key to that is self-awareness. So I have to constantly ask, if I become a student of Sanmitsu, I have to constantly catch myself and say, why did I just say that? Why did I just do that?
And from a dietary perspective, why did I just eat that?
Right. and a lot of the answers to those questions happen on a level of consciousness that we don't have access to. So we have programming, right? Subconscious programming. And so things will come. We've all done it. Something's coming out of your mouth and part of your brain is going, oh man, why am I saying that? I know what's going to happen. Too late. So the trick is to first be aware of it. And sometimes we do that in reflection. So I go back through a meditative reflection and revisit a conversation that didn't go well.
So meditation is part of Toshindo.
Absolutely.
So what I'm getting at here is this. This is not just about moving your body. It's about being in touch with yourself, being in touch with the world, at least this form of martial art. Being in touch with others, trying to do better in a nonviolent way to achieve, as Marx said, quote, achieve peace through a position of power. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? It's nonviolent. He has a student lost 130 pounds. If you're interested in weight management, weight control, how about managing your mind and managing your being in the world? There's a principle in psychology. The dominant response emerges under stress. That's typically a conditioned response. You learned to behave that way when under stress. Sometimes people behave in a bad way under stress. Some people behave magnificently. What Mark is sharing with you is a way to change behavior, a way to perhaps change your attitudes, your values, your beliefs, if they so need adjusting. It's all good. That gets into the wellness part.
Right, and we ultimately want to become skillful in every area of our life.
Sign me up. Come back, we'll have the LTN health question of the day, $25 gift card, right answer.
Want to get it?
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace for healthy sleep naturally.
Did you know that 7 in 10 people have digestive issues? It's no wonder, really. When you take a closer look at what's inside, you'll see that our intestinal environment is similar to a lush garden, a flourishing biodiversity comprised of healthy gut flora. Flora that we depend upon for our health and well-being. Stress, over-sanitization, over-processed foods, and the overuse of antibiotics have clear-cut our guts, leaving our tummies feeling, well, not great. You see, what we have done by killing off the gut flora is damage the soil of our inner gardens. With damaged soil, nothing can really grow or flourish, and disease starts to set in. But we will let you in on a little secret. Fermentation makes all the difference. You know that bloated feeling you can get when taking a vegan protein? Oh, come on. We know you know. Almost all of us get it. That feeling comes from a natural protective casing that surrounds grains and legumes. Because this casing acts as a natural defense mechanism to prevent the grain or legume from being digested, the result is gas and bloating as it passes through our digestive tract. This is where the magic of fermentation comes in. Only fermentation breaks down this casing, freeing the nutrients for absorption by your body. Not only that, but it amplifies the existing nutrients. This means you are getting all the available nutrients from your protein. But there's more. Remember our garden that we clear cut? Well, fermentation, when done right, actually restores that biodiversity of flora. Fermentation naturally replenishes the soil in our garden. Can your protein powder do all that? Well, ours can. Fermented Vegan Proteins Plus by Genuine Health. 7 plant-based sources for a complete amino acid profile. No bloating, maximizes protein and nutrient absorption, and strengthens your gut health. Gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and 100% vegan. Try some today. Your gut will thank you. Genuine Health is possible.
And as we do every day around this time, here's the Let's Talk Nutrition LTN question of the day. Pardon me. Earlier in the show, I was talking about this new study coming out of Frontiers, the journal, Frontiers in Public Health, and they were talking about obesity worldwide. And not just us, but it turns out that our culture, or our food culture, and the way we eat gets imported into these other places in the world, and then they have trouble. Too bad. We should leave those people alone. Here's the question. What % of the population worldwide, and I'm using their word, it's not one term I would use. They say, what percent of the world's population is over fat, close quote, over fat. Okay. I just think calling people fat is, I don't like that. But nevertheless, I'll give you two choices. Make it easy. You can guess. Is it 46% or 76%? What percent of the world's population, according to Frontiers in Public Health, is over fat, close quote? 46%, 47%. Let's go to Richboro. Marge, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Hi, good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
I'm calling with a question, but I'll answer the tail end thing. 76%.
Okay, is that good, Steve? You good with that? He's good. Have you won recently? In the last 3 months?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No. You've called me before, haven't you?
Yes, I usually call with a question or a comment.
Yeah, I remember Richboro, but I remember your voice.
Oh.
Okay. What's your question?
The question is, I'm very sedentary in my lifestyle, and right now I've got sciatica, which is painful and makes it even harder. How can I get long-term motivated to exercise?
Okay. This is a good question. I'll try to give you a succinct answer, and then I'd like Mark and Helen to chime in. May I ask, I'm not being impolite, may I ask your age?
74.
Wonderful. Are you able to walk?
I'm able, although right now with the sciatica.
All right. How do you get that treated? How do you get that treated?
I don't.
You don't. All right. You need to see a doctor, and you see your doctor, and maybe the doctor can refer you to a credentialed, state-licensed chiropractor or acupuncturist to take care of that. I would be careful about getting on opioids for pain. I would steer you away from that. I'm not an MD, so I can't give you medical advice. I'm giving you what the literature would suggest. And,
okay.
All right? The sciatica is very painful. You probably have a hard time negotiating from your house to your mailbox. It's probably tough. On some days. I would start with simple walking. You are motivated. How do I know? You called and asked about it. You are motivated. You want to do it. I know you say you're sedentary. That's the first step to recognize what you're not doing and how you want to improve it. You are motivated, Marge. You are motivated. And I would start with, if you can go for a 1 minute, look for a small win. I don't care if you go walk for 1 minute and go back home. I don't care. That's a small win. Next day, maybe 2 minutes. Get up to 5, and you take your time. But I would get that addressed and treated. You think it's sciatica. I guess it is. I don't know. You need to have x-ray, some image studies done. You're guessing right now. But you need to find out for sure. And I would encourage you to see your physician. Mark, you have any ideas?
Yeah, I do. There is a big misconception around motivation, and this is a golden key to motivation. Motivation does not precede action. Motivation follows action.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Absolutely. It's not a clever little thing I'm saying. This is, again, a universal law. If I get up and I do something, so you already feel better, Marge, because you did something. You called, you got some answers. So if you get up and start taking those first few steps, motivation will begin to follow.
Success breeds success.
That's right. And the second thing is people who have never had their life threatened may not relate to this tool.
Either physically or otherwise.
Right. But this is a very important tool. When you find yourself complaining about, oh, I have to do this, I have to go to the gym, I have to exercise, you need to turn that around and say, no, I get to go to the gym. I get to exercise.
I'm able to do it.
I get to do it. This is a gift.
It's a
because
gift.
There's a day will come when that gift is taken away from you. And that's what we do as humans, right? We take everything for granted.
We're all guilty of that.
Absolutely.
That's a nice point that he made. made. Motivation follows action. As I said, you already are motivated. You picked up the phone, had the courage to call me, ask the question. That was an action. You feel better about yourself that you did that. Now you need to take the next step. The next action would be get to your good physician, get some image studies done, whatever he suggests, CT, X-ray, whatever. Don't guess what the problem is. And then maybe, and I would stay away from pain pills. Don't go there. If you can avoid it, stay away.
Yeah.
And then maybe if your physician's really open-minded, maybe a chiropractor, state licensed, or an acupuncturist, massage therapist, whatever. And then start to make little walks, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Just start walking and then keep me posted. Congratulations, by the way. 76% was the answer. You're right, and you won a $25 gift card. So there, you got rewarded.
It's great.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for telling me your age.
And Marge, I would, with 99% confidence, guarantee you that as soon as you pick up the phone and call your physician, you will begin to feel motivated because you're taking action.
You're not a victim. You're not a victim. Okay?
Okay.
Don't think like a victim. Don't let that back pain turn you into a victim.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're the victor, not the victim.
Right.
All right, more. Is your first name Margaret?
Yes.
That was my sister's name. Thank you for calling. Thank you for being a wonderful, listener to the show. And your contribution.
Thank you. I enjoy it.
we appreciate you and we love you. And stay tuned. Let me know how you're doing. Look for the small wins. Call the doctor. Get this addressed. Get some image studies done. Start walking a little bit. And we'll see where we go with that. Let me know your progress. Let's talk nutrition, where your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
As a family-owned company since 1968, Now Foods has spent the last 46 years building a legacy in the natural health industry as a trusted leader. Now provides a comprehensive